Welcome to Undiet Your Coaching Practice podcast. I'm Stephanie Dozier, clinical nutritionist, certified intuitive eating counselor, and creator of the Going to Beyond the Food method. And after a 25-year dieting career, I decided to say hell no to diet culture and undiet my life, which also included my coaching practice. I'm on a mission to help all coaches undiet not only their life, but their coaching business. If you want to throw down diet culture, you're in the right place. Let's do this. Hello, my dear colleagues, and welcome back to the podcast. I have a treat for you today. This is a multiple guest panel discussion podcast. It is the Non-Diet Coach Success Story, Volume 3. We have 2 more of this kind of episode on the podcast feed if you look it up. Basically, what I do is I bring some of the students of the Non-Diet Mentorship Program and I ask questions and they answer. And some of those questions are some that you submitted about our program or their particular journey. So it's a conversation about their experience becoming non-diet pros, non-diet coaches. We've got people from all backgrounds in this cohort. Actually, this episode of Volume 3 of Success Story actually has 2 cohorts in that. So that's going to make it unique, in which you're going to hear from people who graduated 11 months ago, and then people that are at the end of their program. So they've been in it for 4.5, 5 months now. So you're going to hear both sides of the equation. So I'm really excited about this. And it's also an opportunity for me to invite you to our open house for the Non-Diet Mentorship Program, which is happening on May 16th, 2022. We do that prior to each cohort. So if you're listening to this in a replay, either in the month of May or November, we will have an open house for the next cohort. You can register, have to register, so we send you the Zoom link. You can go to the show note or stephaniedosier.com/open house, all in one word. If you want to see the video version of that, you can also do that. So in the show note, you will have a link with the visual of this conversation so you can see the student and me interacting together. So I'm going to let us roll right into this beautiful panel conversation, and I hope you enjoy it as much as I do. And with that, it's actually the end of season 5. We will see you in season 6. Enjoy. So we're going to start with one question that I have, and then we're going to move into listeners' question. But the first question I have is about what makes the Non-Diet Mentorship Program different than other health coaching program, which is a focus that we have on thought work, mindset work, coaching work, actually learning how to coach. So I want you to tell the listeners or share with the listener how learning how to coach or learning thought work has impacted you personally and or your business over the last 5 months for the current cohort or 12 months for the prior cohort. Like, how much has that impacted your life? And if you can share a few wins, that would be great. So I'm going to start us in the same session as before, like Renee and then Randy, and then we'll go around the block, the whole group. So Renee, you want to get us started?
Yeah, so the thought work has been really incredible in that it's really helped me in this personal discovery and understanding who I am as a person and what it is that I can bring to the table within my business. And I think that's what's really different about this program, because it's not surface level, it's actually going that level deeper, and you're coaching yourself the whole way through. So you're constantly practicing. So I think what that has done is the self-coaching has helped me see who I am, and then therefore creating a program that's so unique to the skill sets and the experience and the person that I am. But then I'm also practicing that so that I can then teach my clients to also do that. because I see how valuable it is to have that own thought work. So I think that's what's been one of the most amazing things in this, is that it's helping in business and personal life, really figuring out who I am and what I can share with the world.
Yeah, because you had a complete turnaround in the program. You're going to do one program and all of a sudden your true self came out. You're like, no, this is what I want to do and I need to do.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think having the confidence to do that, because I think I had the idea to do this new program over 12 months ago, but I didn't have the confidence to do it. And then all of a sudden this program and the self-coaching, and then I think understanding that little bit of fear can sometimes mean that maybe I'm in the right direction. I just need to coach myself around it. And I think that's what really ignited in me that this is what I have to do. And I'm so thankful that I've been able to figure that out thanks to this program.
Thank you, Renee. Randy.
I think my biggest takeaway from doing the thought work is in diet culture, we're taught to follow rules and it's step-by-step action items to take. And then going into business world, it was the same thing. And it was like, check off this checklist and all your dreams will come true. And at my core, I don't align with that anymore. And so I really appreciated this new approach to things, new for me approach to things of learning how to manage my mind and actually like self-coach myself. And just like food, it's not one diet fits all. It's not one business plan fits all. And I think being able to work through our fears and coach ourselves and really like switch our mindsets, it's allowed us to see who we are and how we want to show up in business. And I was so scared to own my past. And like, I just wanted to block that all out and not be part of it. And through thought work and through this mindset shifting, like vulnerability has become my superpower. And I actually know how to feel a feeling now, which was unheard of before. So the fact that I can lean into things that are uncomfortable and use that as a strength to grow my business has like skyrocketed my business.
Yeah, like the whole Weight Watcher, for people who don't know, that she's the Weight Watcher lady who finally owned the fact that she was the Weight Watcher lady. And what did that do to your business? It was fuel, like just skyrocketed. I've had like numbers don't matter, but I've had reels go viral. I've had people relate to my posts, my content. Like it just feels like once I saw what I was avoiding and leaned into it, all the stars aligned and I felt good about what I was doing and it aligned with who I am as a person. That's a beautiful story. Thank you for sharing. Denise?
I think the biggest thing for me is the constant push to do the work on you. So if I'm going to show up in the world and encourage other women to be brave and to take a step that makes them feel afraid or to find themselves or discover themselves, then I need to do the work on becoming confident in me. So I think I came into this thinking I was super confident, and then it's been a really big win to realize actually that confidence was kind of surface level. So it's the discovery underneath that of really now just having hit some rocky patches through the program going, okay, now I know where I want to go. And the world just feels like there's so many opportunities, there's desires, there's dreams popping up everywhere again. And it's probably been in a space with other women who I've met lots of women through your program, and I wish everyone lived in Ireland so I could just pop around the corner and have a cup of tea, because that's the amazing thing is that I'm on the other side of the world and I feel like you guys are just next door to me. So I don't know. I think it comes from the top down, Stephanie. You're just, that's that warming environment that just allows you to be as women, which I think even from somebody who got stuck in healthism, I've spent a couple of weekends away in a camper van. I'm like, God, I don't think about food anymore. And this is so, so wonderful. I'm having so much time for fun. So those are my things.
And community, that's what you highlighted. But, our niche non-diet coaching, intuitive eating, body image is so freaking small at this point. It's going to expand and blow up. But right now we're the groundbreaker, the pioneer. And to be in a group that we all have the same mission, that 10x our power. because we're not alone in our little part of the world like you in Ireland, thinking it's you against the world. It's a group of women together.
Yeah. It is.
Thanks
It is
sharing.
the group of women.
Yeah. Thank you, Denise. So we'll go over to Ashley.
I have recently been reflecting a lot on how wild it's been to just see the transformation in such a short period of time. And I graduated from your mentorship 5 months ago, and I can't get over it. I know that the path I was following before this was one of just looking for answers outside of myself. Diet culture teaches us that we can't trust ourselves. And I don't know if you remember, but I brought up in one of our sessions about how my tagline used to be, Ashley doesn't make decisions. So just reclaiming that agency over my life and getting to define what works for me and create the reality that I want for myself, and knowing that there is no right or wrong, and getting comfortable with living in that gray space and looking at all opportunities as a learning experience and an opportunity to show myself compassion.
Yeah. And your business obviously started from nothing to where it is today, but without going into the details, has many changes in your personal life.
Yeah, that's what I wasn't expecting. Like, I thought I was signing up for Food and Body, and I got so much more than that. And it's just exciting to think about where it's going to lead me in the future.
Yeah, it's not even been a year for you, for graduating, like from learning this. And it's all the stuff you did. Like I was saying that to somebody earlier today, like coaching is not, we're just say words when we coach, and the words can go in the ether and not produce anything. What makes our word produce something is the coachee doing something with the words. So it's you created the result. Like we don't, as coaches, is the person being coached, and you created all of this for yourself. I hope you're sitting with that, because that's pretty powerful. Thank you for sharing, Ashley. And we're going to end it with Anya.
Okay. So I think I'm still a work in progress, but I think the biggest thing in the thought work for me was, nobody ever told me this, and I'm over 40 years old, that my thoughts aren't facts. And it was kind of mind blowing for me. So just being able to learn that and recognize that. And I think what that's been able to help me do is to keep moving forward, because in the past, I just kind of kept myself safe. And like I said, I'm still a work in progress, but I think just learning about the thought work and learning that my thoughts aren't facts has just really kind of propelled me forward to keep moving forward.
And if you allow me, because you're going to like connect with a different group of people in the sense that you're a dietitian. So think of all licensed professionals, not counselor, but licensed professional. You were trained to provide food advice beyond the fact that they were diet culture. But one of the things you said to me is that you were never taught how to interact with your client, how to coach your client.
Yeah, I was given all of the book smarts and all of that, but I really felt like my education was lacking and coaching or counseling even. And so just kind of learning that the thought work is kind of a coaching framework has been, I mean, that alone has been win from this program.
Yeah, it's taking your relationship with your patients, for anybody listening to that, to the next level. Because I know I was like you, I was a practitioner consultant, and like I was stuck. Like I knew the potential, but I didn't know how to like bring people to it, because I was never taught a framework to get people there.
Yeah, you can educate all you want, but that doesn't do 9 times out of 10, that doesn't change somebody's behavior or move them forward. So yeah.
So your relationship with your clients and patients have changed.
Yeah, for sure.
Great. Okay, so that was good, because I wanted to highlight that. But I think where all the listeners are waiting, it's the question that were submitted. You guys are ready to get into that? Okay. I didn't assign them to anyone. So you guys are going to raise your hand. I'm going to take them. So this is one that probably many of you have felt in the beginning or recently. Here we go. I feel like a fraud. 3 little dots. I can't launch a business until I'm perfect with intuitive eating and body image. Who wants to answer that one? Randy, go for it.
Okay, I felt like the biggest fraud ever. And I not necessarily about intuitive eating and body image, but I think it all stems from the same place. I felt like a fraud because I wasn't a dietitian. I didn't have a certificate behind my name. And I remember just talking to Stephanie before I signed up in DMs on Instagram, and Stephanie coached me through it. And I realized like the same thing that was keeping us small in diet culture was keeping me small in my business. And like, yeah, I'm being taught as a woman to play small in this, like in life. And so I did feel like a fraud. And I even came into the mentorship and was like, I'm a fraud. Everybody here is so much smarter than me. Everybody here is so much better than me. And like, once we got to know each other, every single person had that same feeling. Like every single one of us had that feeling for whatever reason it was, but we all felt like frauds. And it's the same thing diet culture is doing to us as just this system that we're living in that is meant to keep us stay small. And yeah, I remember Stephanie saying like, do you want to stay small in the patriarchy, or do you want to live and take up space and have your voice out in the world? And I was like, yeah, I do. So I worked through it. That's what the self-coaching model is all about. And having this support system, and like my partner that I've been partnered up with and paired with, like we coach each other all the time and we help each other out and get through these fears.
Yeah. Anya, did you want to add anything? You raised your hand. Did you feel like a fraud too?
I've spent my entire career as a dietitian feeling like a fraud and I don't like to call it imposter syndrome. I think imposter feelings is a better way of putting it, but I've definitely struggled with that my entire career. And yeah, I think joining this mentorship and like we were just talking about, learning the thought work and the coaching through thought work has definitely, I'm not going to say I don't ever have imposter feelings. They're never going to go away, but they're not at the forefront of my mind 95% of the time. So
yeah, thank you. Anybody else wants to add anything? Ashley? And then we'll go on to the next question.
I remember asking you that in my consultation call, I guess it was, because I was early to my recovery journey, and you made the point that you only need to be a step ahead of your client. And also, I think this is a lifelong practice. Like, what is perfect anyway? Was that what the question was? I mean, perfect is a fantasy, right? So also, I believe that teaching people brings it to our own learning level, like another layer deeper. So that helps.
I have the goosebump to that. That is so freaking true. You want to learn something to the next level, go out and teach it. You will own it after that. Okay, here's another one. I'm having trouble with structuring the way that I work with people, my methodology, my approach. How is the mentorship program helping with that? Or will it help with helping me structure my approach with my client? As any of you can speak on that? Renee.
So the program definitely helps with that, because we're observing the way that you would generally coach, because you're coaching us. We're also, the amount of resources that you put together is extensive. We can see the way that you offer your coaching methodology to your clients, and then we see the back end of what that means as a professional. And so it's not like we're copying what you do, but we see it as some kind of context. And then with our own self-coaching and our own development as we go through the program, we can then start to put our own spin on it as we start to practice ourselves. So I found that's what's really amazing, is we're seeing it, but then we're also getting to practice it as well.
Denise, great answer. Denise, you want to add something?
Yeah, I'm hearing Renee's and I'm thinking, yeah, definitely. That's been something else. I think what happened to me is that before this, I kept looking to see what everyone else was doing. And suddenly then I've stopped kind of having eyes and wondering, and I'm more looking internally to say, okay, well, how do I want to do it? And the more I work with clients, the more I see what fits for the people that come to me. So it's almost like you teach us from the inside out. It just comes. So you don't need the formula or the piece of paper to say, do X, Y, and Z.
And that's the whole, like, that's what we do with our work with our clients. We build agency, right? And that the program is structured to build agency in you, agency over your methodology, your business, is not to tell you what to do, but to build you up so you decide what you need to do. And it's in constant evolution. We don't get married to our program, people. That how many times I say this, like what you create today will be different from tomorrow and from a year and from 3 years from now. You don't get married to your program. Like, don't make it a big deal. Just get it out there and see what happens. Okay, here's another one. This one's about self-sabotaging. Who relates to that? Okay. I feel like I'm self-sabotaging all the time. I think I have a tendency to make things complicated. How do I resist that? Or should I make things complicated? For those who listen, everybody's smiling right now because it's always a big topic in all of our coaching calls. So I'm sure everyone's got a lot of thoughts about that. But Denise, you had unmuted yourself. So you want to go first?
I'm going to give a very short answer. Make something complicated in Stephanie's company, you're going to get coached the shit out of that. So Stephanie's not going to let you hide from your complicated brain. I think I spent 5 months in the program being told you're complicating it. So I suppose the first thing is it's totally normal. I think we all do that. And that's partly our fear maybe, or whatever is going on. But yeah, Stephanie's just going to coach it out of you.
Yeah. Anybody wants to add anything? Randy?
Yeah, same as Denise. I'm pretty sure every week I get told I'm complicating something for some reason. And what I realized is I was like trying to prove myself by overcomplicating things. And like my program had to have systems and this and that and this. And I had to add in all this other stuff because I was like almost like competing against other people to prove myself. And in the program, we learned that agency and that self-affirmation. And after learning that, like, I am good. Like my coaching is great. I don't need all this stuff that my complicating brain is like, prove yourself to the world. So now that like I'm aligned with myself, my beliefs, I'm self-affirming. I'm stopping the complications. I know my worth.
That's beautiful. We're going to end it there because it's a beautiful answer. Perfect answer. Okay. So here's the next one. How do I learn how to coach my client? It's an open-ended question, but I'm going to see where you guys go with that. How did you learn how to coach your client? Renee.
By coaching yourself first.
That's what I was going to say.
Yeah. And to give context, similar to Anya, I'm a clinical nutritionist. We weren't taught to coach. It's consulting. And so that was something I knew I needed to learn, and I'd never been taught how to do it. But honestly, I get to practice on myself every single day. And that is what has helped me become so much better as a coach. And I love it. It's great.
Yeah. Simple answer is coach yourself. Learn how to coach yourself. And then you show up to your client how you show up to yourself. Now, most of us think that coaching ourselves is beating the shit of ourselves. Who thought that before, right? Thought like I'm going to whip myself into shape, and that's coaching. That's not coaching. Did you raise your hand, Ashley, or you just shook your head?
Yeah, you remember I cried every time I got in the beginning because my inner critic was just like judging and criticizing the crap out of me. Yeah.
We have a misunderstanding of coaching until you get coached, and by a coach, you don't realize what coaching is. Okay, so that was a good answer. How do I attract people that are ready to do the work / not wanting to lose weight? That's a very common question. And if you don't know how to answer it, perhaps think about if you were attracting people that were wanting to lose weight before joining the Non-Diet Mentorship Program, and do you attract them now? Denise.
I think I've come to the place where if I do attract people who want to lose weight, that's okay. It's not my decision for them. So it's not for me to say for anyone. If that's what they want to do, I'll always say to them, you know what, that's fine. It's not how I can help you. Here's what I can do. And if you want to lose weight and you're doing other things, or it happens as a byproduct of our work, that's where we end up. So I have gotten clients who've lost weight. I've gotten clients who haven't lost weight, but it doesn't really become a conversation in our story together. So I don't think I ever stopped attracting people. It doesn't, I've let them clearly know in the start, this is not what I do. And if you want to stay working with me, great.
And people still work with you.
Yeah. Or they don't, if they don't want to.
Or they don't. Yeah. Anybody else wants to add to that? Randy? Yeah, the Weight Watcher lady. You should be all over that.
Literally my life for 10 years was attracting people to lose weight. So it was a very big switch. I had to take an approach to start fresh. Like, this is who I am. This is starting fresh. This is my new business. And like Denise said, I still attract people that want to lose weight. It's less and less. And I think it comes down to me being confident in myself and my message. And the more I share that message and the more I say who I am and share my journey, the more I'm attracting people that are on the same journey as I am. So yeah, like, I'm not talking about weight loss anymore. There is a misunderstanding out there. You're still going to get people, but like what Denise said, like, to just say, like, yeah, let's talk about what do you want to learn? Like, why are you losing weight? And some people will work with you and other people won't. And that's okay.
But what's interesting is that less and less, I think the more we get clear on our message and the more we show up in our message, like as the identity of our message, it just automatically filters out people and attracts new people, right? You're just not like filtering out, you're filtering in new people as well. Okay, last question, because we committed to time. Did you feel scared in investing in your business? Or did you have any fears about joining a program, and how did you overcome them? I think they can be packed together, the question about investing in your business and overcoming fear. Who wants to take that one? We've got Renee.
I was afraid more from the perspective that I'd already been part of 2 different business programs beforehand. And whilst I did gain things out of it, I'm like, am I just going to be investing more money and not actually get anywhere? But I made the decision before committing that that this is what I wanted to do. And I really believed in what Stephanie believes in her program. And honestly, within the first week, any fears that I had were completely gone out the window. And I think that was because I could see the belief that Stephanie had for us as the participants. And I could see then that I started to gather that belief for myself that I could actually make this a viable business. And then the financial investment, I just went, wow, rather than it becoming a fear, I love that I invested this in myself and my business, because this is what I really want to do. And this program taught me to reframe that. So, yeah.
That's a beautiful like change of belief, like that you want to invest in yourself and your business.
Yeah.
Because I'll go to someone else, but this is a misunderstanding that I want to put out there and help people understand. There's this diet culture way of teaching business coaching and teaching people they can build a business online and get 6-figure in a year. And it's no costs. You cannot build a business with no costs. It's not the way it works. We want to build something. We somehow, somewhere have to invest. Thinking that we can build a business with $0 attached to it is just not the reality. It's like the thin ideal of diet culture, right? It's a false promise that we're being unfortunately sold by this kind of oppressive business coaching. So it's not a truth. You're going to have to invest at some point to build a business that's going to sustain you in the future. Who else wants to add to that? Ashley.
I like how Renee brought up the love and fear thing, because whenever I've had a hesitation about investing, I have to remind myself why I'm doing this work. And that place of making the decision from a place of love versus fear makes all the difference. And speaking to your program, like the investment that it is, you deliver so much more that you could charge like twice as much as you do. And I'd do it again.
That's the thing I teach, right? Over deliver, undercharge, over deliver, undercharge, over deliver, instead of going with the big ticket price where you're going to be scared shit of trying to sell it. And you're going to be stressed the whole time through trying to deliver that value. Undercharge, over deliver, and you're going to create so much confidence in yourself that you can increase your price if you desire so in the future. It's all depend on the structure of your program. Anyone else? Overcoming fears? Denise.
I can go. I don't know. I think I said this to you. I saw your Instagram profile and I went, as soon as that lady is doing a program, I'm there. She's for me. But just in terms of the investment, even if I never made money, I made so much more for me. So it was way beyond the business investment. And I had done other programs, but this is just my life in so many different ways has just transformed since I've done this. So if you want to do it, even just do it for yourself. But I know it's going to come in leaps and bounds with business over the years. But for me, it was just like, even my husband says, "What do you mean Stephanie next?"
Stephanie,
the hero.
I have so many partners who hear about me and they have no idea who I am. Like, when are we meeting to Stephanie? My name is going around the house all the time.
Even the kids are like, "Who's Stephanie?" Now they're like, "Oh, mommy's going to chat Stephanie."
And I want to say, I'm going to end this with that. That's the difference between, to me, I call this a mentorship, not a certification, for exactly what you just said, the last sentence, Denise. It's personal development first, because that's how coaching people through in a non-oppressive way requires you to have done the work. Otherwise, you're just blabbering things to do to people without any connection to what it actually feels like to be there. So that's why it's called a mentorship instead of a certification, because it requires you to do the personal work in order for you to build yourself up as a coach. Okay. Anybody wants to add anything before we close up? It's been a pleasure to have you guys here. For some of you, it's your first podcast experience, but for others, it's just you being a podcaster on someone else's podcast. How about that? But it was a pleasure to have you. And for the people listening, hopefully that was helpful and inspiring to you. I'll see you on the next podcast. You get it now. Diet culture sucks. And you want to stop promoting diet culture and be the cause of your clients or patients' distress. You want to do what's right for your people, and you know it first starts with you. And that's awesome. And we have a program to help you just do this and reach your business goals. The Non-Diet Mentorship Program is an epic coaching container I created exclusively designed for health entrepreneur, coaches, or professional mastering their own journey with diet culture, food, and body image, while also learning to build and grow their business with ethics so they have a massive impact. And our next cohort will begin July 4th, 2022. Our program is by application only through our waitlist, as we only accept a maximum of 30 students per cohort. You can find the detail at stephaniedodier.com/mentorship or using the links in the show notes. Maybe I'll see you on the other side. Ready to shed diet culture from your practice and help more clients do the same? Awesome. We've got 3 resources to get you started. Simply go to stephaniedodier.com/pro series, all in one word, and access our 3 free training classes that are currently available. We also have a free PDF guide to intuitive eating, an article about the non-diet approach. We also offer a variety of paid programs throughout the year to support you in your journey to undiet your coaching practice. Join us at stephaniedodier.com/pro series, and I'll see you on the other side.